Welcome to Coffee and a Conversation hosted by CJ Abernathy for South Dakota District 23 Senate 2020. A father, an activist, a Marine Corps combat veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan, Purple Heart recipient with a bachelor's degree in Information Technology Software Engineering. CJ is the executive producer for the Adam vs. the Man podcast with Adam Kokesh, and the CEO of Internet Warlords, the War for the Internet, as well as a former 2018 South Dakota Libertarian gubernatorial candidate, and a 2020 South Dakota delegate to the Libertarian National Convention. If you would like to join this broadcast, click the link in the description. Coffee and a Conversation starts now. Have a great day or don't. The choice is always yours.
It's Monday! Oh man, I feel like that's the opposite of people's excitement for most Mondays. What's up, everybody? It's your boy CJ, the Internet Warlord, coming to you live and loud from the great state of Meth Dakota. You know Meth Dakota, it's the state just south of North Dakota, that Dakota, the state formerly known as South Dakota, until the Queen of Meth, Governor Kristi Noem, declared by a proclamation that we are all on meth here in South Dakota. Ever since then, I think that's what started the coronavirus. Honestly, I don't know. We'll just start from there. I am excited about today's broadcast for two reasons. First and foremost, hey, we're here. It's a Monday. The world's still spinning. Coffee's still hot. So the other reason is that I have a great interview today lined up with a man by the name of Joshua Fuck the Feds Dial. You might know him more effectively as Joe Exotic's former campaign manager when he ran for governor in 2018 from the Tiger King docuseries. And some of you might know, some of you might not know him, but if you don't, you will by the end of this. And we've got a lot to talk about. Josh he's got a hell of a story, and I'm actually quite humbled and honored that he would even be joining me this morning to have a cup of coffee and a conversation. Hopefully he's at least got some coffee for himself today. I know he's going through a lot, so I wanted to utilize my platform to help bring some awareness to the forefront and help bring some levity to Josh's situation and what I've witnessed to the rise and fall, the hard times, the good and the bad. But Josh has always been upfront and honest about his experience, and he has always been somebody that tries to find that silver lining, that positive outlook on things. So, and I would be remiss if I didn't tell you it is Mental Health Monday for those that are interested in those conversations. This is not a me starting thing. This is just a thing that is now a thing, I guess. So I do have some stories today to tell you guys about that are over from over the weekend, and my thoughts on this. And I'll tell you what, I can't fix the stupid in the world, but I can sure say here it is. So we're going to start real quick, as we always do in South Dakota, Meth Dakota. And great headline here from KELOLANdNewsTalk.com here. Governor Noem asks Presidential Debate Commission to stage early debate in South Dakota. Now, as you guys know, I'm not voting for either of these two old pervy buffoons and their stupidity. This is the definition of dumb. These are the sultans of stupid. These are people that are essentially just terrible human beings that aspired to be the most powerful person on the spinning ball in space through this endless void of existence. Now, you might notice I'm wearing a Jorgensen for President hat. And as we go through this article today here, as we're waiting for our guest today, I want you to notice this is from Governor Noem's campaign here. She's actually campaigning for this. Fellow conservative, knowing you're one of my top supporters, I wanted to share some important news with you. In order to continue preserving fairness and transparency in our presidential election, I joined with U.S. Senators John Thune and Mike Rounds, as well as Congressman Dusty Johnson, to request that an additional earlier presidential debate be held in our home state of South Dakota this September. As you are aware, presidential debates are a critical part of the electoral process. Unlike television ads or pre-written speeches, debates give Americans a first-hand look at each candidate's own policies and intellect in an unscripted setting. They allow voters to hear the candidates' platforms firsthand and give candidates the opportunity to respond to the tough questions at the forefront of every voter's mind. Unfortunately, by the time the first presidential debate happens on September 29th, 2020, voters in North Dakota will have already started voting 11 days prior. South Dakotans who vote early deserve the same opportunities afforded to voters in other states, which is to hear the three competing visions for our country and make a well-informed decision when casting their vote at the ballot box, especially when one candidate has spent the duration of the campaign avoiding voters and questions from the press. We must give voters a fair chance in an already unprecedented election, and we asked the Commission on Presidential Debates to consider adding an additional earlier debate in South Dakota this September. This monumental election will determine the very future of our nation. The least we can do is equip voters with the facts necessary to aid them in electing the next president of the United States. And if you agree, of course, take her poll. So this is the hypocrisy that I'm going back to. To keep voters informed, well-informed, to have a debate so everybody can know what's going on and hear the coherent thoughts of these people in their as they seek the most powerful position in the universe. You would think Kristi Noem, being the retard that she is, well, I guess I shouldn't give her this much credit, but you would think that as first and foremost a woman, that she would understand that, hey, there's a woman running for president, and the voters should be aware of that too. But nope, we're gonna go down the boxes here. Nope. So Kristi Noem, again, clearly in her language, there's two choices, not three. Okay. She says it should be about transparency, and people are avoiding, public and press. You can't put this ignorance out there without realizing that she is basically null and voiding and negating the fact that there is a third party candidate. She is basically telling voters, you have two choices. It's either shit sandwich or giant douche. There's no middle ground. You will vote one or the other, South Dakota. And it really it goes to show the lack of fairness and transparency, and how she continues to just be this stupid is incomprehensible to me. It really is. I find it so difficult to express and articulate the feelings that I have when I read her words, and I know what I know, and I know that she doesn't want Joe Jorgensen to debate Donald Trump or Joe Biden, because she would make those perverts look like perverts. She would make those perverts look incompetent. Note she didn't say they have three choices. Note she didn't say that we would be inviting Joe Jorgensen to the debate. No, she's not advocating for a woman to make the debate stage. She's not all about team hashtag let her speak. She is team shut her the fuck up. That's what she is. So I don't understand how Kristi Noem is this dumb. Oh, that's right. It's all rigged. It's all by design, and it's all out of anyone else's control. If you're watching this, it's out of your control as much as it's out of my control. But you know what? This is the truth. And as I scrolled through here, I didn't see a Joe Jorgensen or nothing in the article here. in recent fundraising email, blah, blah, blah. This is as long as the article is. You're looking at the whole article. And look at the quote here. The least we can do is equip voters with the facts necessary to aid them in electing the next president of the United States. And you go, wait a minute. Wait. But equipping them with the facts means letting them know who the choices are. And it's not 2. In fact, it's more than 3. But you would think that equipping them with the facts and letting everybody have transparency would be at the forefront of this governor's agenda. And it's not. It's to aid the two-party duopoly, the hand that feeds her. And by the way, she is fully, and I swear to God, I'm calling my shot early on this. She plans on running for president. I know I'm calling this early, but she's being groomed for it. She's being groomed for it. She, in her mind, is thinking, wait a minute, I have the first chance of being the first female president. Look at how much they worship me here in South Dakota, Meth Dakota. Look how much she's worshipped. Go to her Facebook feed and look how many Kristi Noem supporters are sitting there saying, you'd make a great president. It's ridiculous. But meanwhile, what kind of coverage does our libertarian candidate get? Libertarian candidate doesn't even name her. Skips campaign rally after she was bitten by a bat. And now, again, Joe Jorgensen would make Donald Trump and Joe Biden look like incompetent buffoons on a debate stage. She would run policy circles around Joe Biden and Donald Trump. She would expose the crimes of the two-party duopoly. And here's Kristi Noem saying, we're going to have fair and transparent elections. We're going to have it this way. Well, no, you're not, Kristi. You're not actually doing anything of value when you're keeping people misinformed, when you're keeping people uneducated when it comes to who is actually available for president of the United States. There are more than 2 choices, and she puts it out there as her campaign that there's only 2 choices, Meth Dakota, a pedophile or a pedophile. Do you want a rapist pedophile or a pedophile rapist? Which one do you want? That's the choice you get this election if you were in South Dakota. And of course, this being a red state, do they really think that it's going to go anywhere other than Donald Trump? Do they honestly think that it's going to go anywhere other than Donald J. Trump? Really? Honestly. I got a few more stories here to cover, but in about 15 minutes, we're going to have Joshua Fuck the Feds Dial on the broadcast. And I know he's got a lot to add when it comes to his thoughts on Joe Jorgensen and the Libertarian Party. And so I hope you guys will stick around for that. Make sure to share the video. And yeah, so real quick, I want to say good morning to James. Matt, how you doing? I see you there. Good morning, sir. Hey, Thomas, how you doing? Josh is a good dude. Abso-freaking-lutely. And I'm honored and humbled that he would even join me this morning. And Isaac says, hopefully a one-term bitch. Well, unfortunately, she's going to... When you're the queen of meth, you don't just get elected. You're appointed. And she was Trump's appointed governor of South Dakota, lest we forget. So, speaking of what she is actually going to be here for, because this is a whole Kristi Noem segment, the White House reportedly asked South Dakota's governor how to add another president to Mount Rushmore. And she later gave Trump a 4-foot replica with his face on it. I mean, honestly, folks, can we continue to have this adult conversation where we have to realize that this is what we're dealing with? We knew this was coming as a country the moment that Donald Trump got elected, that at some point his eyes would be set on a beautiful stolen mountain in the Black Hills of South Dakota. Can we admit this? Is this public information yet? That this was his goal the whole time? Honestly, well, I at least should say one of them. Now, just to cover the quick bullet points on this one, last year, a White House aide asked the office of South Dakota's governor, Kristi Noem, how to add more presidents to Mount Rushmore, citing an anonymous source familiar with the conversation. Governor Noem played to President Trump's interest in the monument in July, greeting him with a 4-foot replica of Mount Rushmore with his face added onto it. Noem recalled her first meeting with Trump in the Oval Office, quote, I said, Mr. President, you should come to South Dakota sometime. We have Mount Rushmore. And he goes, do you know it's my dream to have my face on Mount Rushmore? So, I mean, again, it's not possible to add another president to the monument, according to South Dakota's Argus leader. And again, when I I go into this one, there's really only one takeaway, is that the cost, and there was a push back for George Bush to be added to the monument, and it wasn't feasible. But I don't take nothing from Donald Trump when it comes to trying to get onto Mount Rushmore. It's his dream, so of course he's going to be sitting there going, hey, add me to Mount Rushmore. My face would be beautiful on it. Like, come on, man. Living in South Dakota here, and knowing that he literally tear gassed Native Americans the same day he's shooting off fireworks and celebrating America is, to me, it's just a travesty. But let's look who's on there. George Washington, slave owner. Thomas Jefferson, slave owner. Teddy Roosevelt, Native American murderer en masse. Lincoln, also a racist, according to certain sects of people that own the land in trust and treaty. Man, I'm telling you, like, to add Donald Trump, they called it the Shrine of Democracy. Well, they've got another name for it for those that disagree with it and believe it belongs to the Oglala Sioux tribe. And that's a shrine to racism, a shrine to terrible human beings. But again, cognitive dissonance in the world. So, but real quick, I've got 10 minutes and I got 2 stories, and then we're going to get to our guest today. So we've got a big event here that just happened in South Dakota, Sturgis. Thousands of bikers heading to South Dakota rally to be blocked at the tribal land checkpoints. I don't want to die. It's a quote. I don't want to die, but I don't want to be cooped up all my life either. And it's a big statement. Not a lot of us want to be cooped up inside. So as I predicted last week, a lot of people are going to view this as an opportunity to get away from the house, to get out and socialize, to ride their motorcycles, support Trump, of course. There was Trump-gasms everywhere that you could look and see. But, here we are. They did what they said they're going to do, and not a mask in sight. So a convoy consisting of thousands of bikers headed for South Dakota rally will not be allowed to cross the Cheyenne River Sioux checkpoint on their way to the event, according to Native spokesman. The spokesman said Saturday that the band of travelers would be stopped on their way to the Sturgis motorcycle rally in the name of preventing coronavirus from spreading any further. The 7 tribes that make up the Sioux Nation are now in a fight with federal and state officials who deemed such checkpoints to be illegal. And again, this is what happens. You're going onto sovereign territory. They have all control of their borders. And what are you going to do? You're going to tell them they can't? I mean, honestly, the duty officer for the Cheyenne River Sioux told the Guardian Saturday that commercial and emergency vehicles will be allowed through the checkpoints, but nothing else. Some reservations have reportedly turned away bikers already. Crowds had gathered for the start of the 10-day event on Friday, with many bikers adopting an attitude of defiance towards COVID-19 restrictions that have drastically changed day-to-day life. Again, as we go through this, I wanted to get to one thing that Kristi Noem had brought in on here, because they don't actually talk about facts. I mean, but again, Here's the "Screw COVID" read the design on one of the t-shirts being sold when I went to Sturgis. Governor Noam, a Republican, has supported the Sturgis rally, citing the fact that no infections were reported as a result of the event held by President Trump at Mount Rushmore last month. She's also avoided a mask mandate and highlighted the idea of personal responsibility. And, so I'm not going to go very much further into that one. I like to get to the Queen of Meth and then stop. Because, to be perfectly honest, it's just narratives. It's narratives. The coronavirus is still what the coronavirus is, regardless of what state you're in. The coronavirus is still a thing. It's the defiance towards it that I'm predicting and that I did predict. And then, to be perfectly honest, what did you expect to have happen? You have 250,000 people that have been cooped up and frustrated. And I mean, they've already seen Trump come and, there's no mandates, no masks. They're praising Kristi Noem out the yin yang, regardless of the stupid that it really is. And what did you expect to have happen? So, of course, the tribal lands are sovereign in their own right. And so, yes, they can block the traffic. They can make checkpoints. They don't have to accommodate you on their land. So, of course, they say it's illegal. And again, this is just the natives go back to, well, it's just the white man. It's just the government. It's just, and you go, why do we continue to challenge the sovereignty of the native lands like this? Well, it makes sense to me because we have a government that doesn't respect sovereignty, doesn't respect individual freedoms and ownership. It just uses them as punch words into their bowl of bullshit. But there is bigger things coming. So last story of the day here, and then we will get to our guest. President Trump has temporarily boosted unemployment, but there are strings attached from the motleyfool.com. Jobless Americans saw their boosted unemployment benefits expire at the end of July. The president is now attempting to help out, but the process won't be smooth. And the key takeaway from this one is that he extended the unemployment, and he did this through executive action. And it's going to be challenged. Well, what boggles my mind out of this is how we expect businesses to be able to operate under these mandates. And Kristi Noem in South Dakota, one of the articles said that, as we read, that she didn't do any mandates or lockdowns. Well, that's bullshit. She didn't. She knew the mayors would. She knew city councils would. She knew local jurisdictions would, which again, I'm not opposed to that decision making to say, all right, let districts make their own decisions, let counties and cities make their own restrictions and businesses to do this. I'm not against that aspect, but don't mistake her not doing it from her not knowing that other localities would do that other jurisdictions like Sioux Falls are going to minimize staffing and socially distance require, and businesses will mask mandate. Don't come to South Dakota thinking you can just not wear a mask here at Walmart. They will ask you at the door, put on your mask. These are all designed to, again, make you, the ignorant two-party duopoly voter, continue to buy their bullshit, continue to suppress the truth. And it has nothing to do with fairness, transparency, or openness, or we would have Dr. Joe Jorgensen on the debate stage here in South Dakota. But the Queen of Meth knows that there is no fucking way that she is going to be able to keep it transparent, open, and honest so voters really know what's going on and they can see the competency of each individual candidate. No, it's to continue that two-party way of fucking thinking. Seriously. I don't care what a business does. I don't care what a business does, but don't tell me that you didn't mandate anything when you fucking knew, Kristi, that these cities were going to do this. People have lost jobs in South Dakota. Make no mistake about it. There's stories here that are not being told, and it's not being transparent because at the end of the day, it would make you look bad if all of a sudden the truth starts coming out about what's actually going on at the local level and how you've just, like, there was a big battle between her and Paul Tanakin. Where'd that go? anyways, that's just for another day. Let me get to the comments here. Wow, not against masks. How libertarian. I mean, again, I don't care what you wear over your face. If you want to wear a slave muzzle, if you want to wear it as a protective, which again, I don't want to get into the science of masks this morning, Mr. Bruce, but again, it's an individual's choice. And I'm not going to be the one that says you have to not wear a mask. But I'm also going to tell you, if you're wearing a mask and you're healthy, you're fucking stupid. Reminds me of Trump taking guns first. Yes, I like taking guns first and then going to court to get the due process. Yes, that's a beautiful, beautiful line to bring up this Monday. Again, another cognitive dissonant moment between our two-party duopoly friends. So, man, isn't it crazy how fast a half hour goes telling the news? I tell you what. So, all right. My guest this morning is one of, if you had to ask me, CJ, name the top 5 libertarians in there. And of course, me being the one true libertarian and the only true libertarian, I would say me. It's me. It's me. So, I wish. I wish. But if I had to name the top 5 libertarians of 2020, my next guest easily makes this list. And he is a man that you might know from his part on a docuseries called The Tiger King. The Tiger King aired on Netflix about and I'm sure Josh can correct me if I'm wrong, a zoo out of Oklahoma that was an animal park mainly featuring tigers that was owned by a man, Joe Maldonado, a.k.a. Joe Exotic. And Joe Exotic is currently serving in a prison for, I believe it's 22 years for murder for hire. And Josh was his campaign manager in 2018 while he ran for the Libertarian ticket. So Josh is somebody that I have come to respect, a man that I have watched go from Netflix fame for what that's worth to libertarian instant stardom to the fallout. And so I can only hope that he's willing to discuss the issues and things that have happened and transpired since with fairness, open, and honesty. And I welcome all of you to use the comments. And as I said, I'm very humbled and honored that he would join me this morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Joshua, fuck the feds dial. Good morning, sir. How are you today?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
Josh, I am humbled, honored to have you on. I first sent you a friend request when you were actually facing a troll problem. You had Joe Maldonado's troll farm after you, and you were saying, fuck the trolls. And I'm sitting here going like, man, I've tried to be your friend for months, man. I'm not going to sit here and troll you with my time and my brain noodle thoughts. Like, this guy is too nice of a human being to sit here and go, oh, I'm just going to make him feel bad about who he is. And I thought, man, and then you're like, hey, let me get you a friend request. Let me accept it real quick. And yeah, I appreciate that. As I like I said, I first heard of Joshua, fuck the feds dial, like many other people on the Tiger King docuseries. There are a few libertarians that have told me that they knew you before the Tiger King docuseries through conventions and your works. And
Erin Adams being she's my political godmother. Shout out to my mama.
Yeah, I got to meet Erin in Orlando. I mean, she is a ball of fire.
She is. That's the best way to explain it. A nuclear ball of fire.
Yes. And when she's walking to the mic, don't get in her way.
I love it when she walks to the mic because I'm always like, oh my God, Erin's about to walk to the mic.
Yeah.
Erin's about to lay the shit down.
In Orlando, and I wish you could have been there, man. I was hoping I was going to get to meet you, and that all fell through. But when we were there, I mean, our communications director Devin Saxon be like, "Oh shit, Erin's walking to the mic. Oh shit, John Phillips walking to the mic." Like, it's about to go down. So,
Aaron Starr's walking to the mic.
Yeah, like yeah. Nick Sarwark walking to the mic. Stark out walking to the mic.
Chairman, Aaron Starr, California delegation. No, but I enjoy it still. I still enjoy the pomp and pageantry of it all.
Absolutely.
Out of order, sir. I love that.
Dilatory.
Yeah, I love that. Like that's why like I consider politics not only my profession, passion, but also my favorite sport. And I do consider it a sport for things like that. I mean, you want to come up at a convention as a delegate and propose propose something, and the chair of the national party just screams you down and says dilatory. That he might as well just go and punch him in the teeth. It's all that sport right there, bro. But I love politics. I love conventions. And by the way, like I'll be at Anarchon. I'm sorry, I'm kind of cutting you off. Before I forget, I'll be at Anarchon Friday through Sunday over in Virginia, and then I'm going to the Peace and Liberty Festival up in Michigan the week after that. Folks have paid my airfare and nice. Food and stuff. So if anyone that's watching or anyone knows anyone that would like me to come speak at any convention or do anything, I don't charge a fee, just as long as y'all can get me there and make sure I don't go hungry
and get you home.
I'm more than happy to come and do any kind of speaking engagements of any kind.
Awesome. So, before we jump into what everybody knows you for, I kind of want to get to know Joshuabdial before Tiger King, before Joe Exotic. What were you always a libertarian? Were you somebody that, or have you always been a libertarian, or were you a two-party voter like myself at one point?
I was a small L libertarian since 2007.
Okay.
But the Libertarian Party didn't even get ballot access in Oklahoma until 2016, 14. But yeah, I've been a small L libertarian all my life. But as far as registration, I was a Democrat originally. I started out as a Democrat, and I met people like Aaron Adams and folks like you that in the Libertarian Party. And I realized that this isn't the party that just wants to, take away all the benefits and kill grandma.
As much as people like to think
that libertarians, we care about people and we take care of our own, and it inspired me. So I signed up, and I haven't looked back since. I've got my membership card and everything.
I actually saw you post it to a troll. Like it's even necessary. But again, here's the internet being the internet. So, okay. Right. So you joined the Libertarian Party. You were a little L libertarian. You had some influences that brought you in. Kind of walk me into what led you to being Joe Maldonado's campaign manager, if you don't mind.
Simply the fact that, at the time I went to work, so I worked for Joe 3 years ago.
Did you work for him first, or did you?
No. Okay, sorry. I had to do some counting backwards because I was trying to put from all the trauma. It's hard to piece together times.
Understandable.
So at the age of 29, I was living in Pauls Valley, Oklahoma, which is 7 miles north of the zoo. That's also my hometown. I grew up there, lived there for all my life, mostly except for college, all my life.
Fair enough.
And one day I was just like, I have lived here for 29 years and I've never been to Joe Exotic Zoo. So I, messaged him, and he's like, hell yeah, because we already been in contact because I helped him on his presidential campaign. So he already knew who I was. I already knew who he was. And I was just going, just to check out the zoo, And before I could even get in the gift shop, he meets me out front and shakes my hand and says, Josh, I'm running for governor. Will you be my campaign manager?
Wow. So you had helped him previously on the presidential
role. Right. But only on an advisory capacity, not on a full-time paid kind of thing. Yeah.
Gotcha. And so he asks you to be his campaign manager. And then, am I assuming that came with a role then at the zoo itself?
Yeah, so not only was I campaign manager, and any libertarian that's out there knows this, that's ever run a campaign, First of all, for the campaign, I was not only the campaign manager, I was a photographer, I was a videographer, the editor, the producer, the press secretary, the treasurer of the committee. Like I could go on, but
I know, I hear you.
like I think y'all get the point. On top of all that, I was also required to occasionally help prepare animals' diet. So like, you prepare like some cut up fruit to give to the like monkeys, for instance. And then I was also expected to do photography and videography for the zoo. So while I wasn't managing campaigns, about 5 or 6 times, he'd interrupt me from my campaign work to go work on the zoo doing my photography work because I'm a damn good photographer.
So okay, so you were the campaign manager before a position at the zoo.
No. When I got the campaign manager position, it was also the position of also working at the zoo. So I got them at the same time.
So it was a combined role.
Yeah. However, I was only hired to be a campaign manager, not a zoo worker. He basically said he wasn't going to pay me if I didn't help him. He was going to replace me if I didn't take on the responsibilities of zoo photographers. And he ended up firing the photographer. His name's Dalen Holloway. You can private message him and ask him. He'll tell you he fired him so he could hire me, or not hire me, but use me for free. So yeah, that really happened.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to like get so butthurt at me for speaking the truth about Joe Exotic, but that's what really fucking happened, guys. I mean, I'm not gonna what benefit do I have to lie about that? I hate it when people feel sorry for me. I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I just need some help. I do need some help right now. But besides that, I'm just here to tell the truth. And if you don't like it, I mean, I think by now people should have understood that I'm here to tell the truth. And if you don't like it, stop sending me death threats and just get off my page.
So we're gonna get to the aftermath. I'm still in the okay. So you're cutting up fruit for monkeys. You're doing the zoo work. You're doing campaign work. You're also having to deal with the personality that he is, the issues that he clearly has as a human being. I'm not saying that you can't be a flawed person and not have value. I'm saying that this guy clearly had some issues. He clearly had some ego issues, clearly had some legal issues that he was facing. And what I'm kind of interested in this aspect is that you go from being campaign manager. How does it all? Because I want to walk from the campaign. Obviously, he did not get the nomination for the Libertarian Party in 2018. Correct. I also ran for governor in 2018 for South Dakota here, did not get the nomination. And, I can relate to that losing aspect. So the campaign comes to an end, and you then become what? Does the position at the zoo still remain? Or how what was the timeline for the ending between the campaign and what we see on TV? What brings us up to speed on that?
Yeah, great. And so what happened was Joe fled the zoo because Jeff Lowe, the owner of the zoo, called him and said the feds were about to arrest him. So Joe wiped all the computers and fled the day before the election. So when he did that, Jeff Lowe, I think he was just trying to keep me on to see if I'd turn on Joe and testify against Joe and toe his line, Yeah. So he kept me for a week. However, that week that he kept me was the week I was supposed to that I was at the Libertarian National Convention in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Right, in 2018.
Yep.
So while I was in NOLA, even though they said I would still have my job, on the way back, and I rode with Erin Adams. Like I said, she's my fairy godmother.
Yeah.
Fairy godmother. And we were riding back, and we got the text message that said, or actually the phone call said, your services are no longer needed. You need your stuff out in 24 hours. And so I was like, here I am. Now I have no job. I mean, I'd given up my apartment in order to live on site, so I could put in 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. Because it's foolish to pay for an apartment or a house when you
to be there for 4 hours a night. Yeah,
right, and most of it being sleep. So Erin Adams saved my life. She said, "Hun, I'll let you move up to my house in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and you can live with me until you get back on your feet." That was 2 years ago. 5 days ago would have been 2 years ago exactly that I moved up here.
Yeah.
Since then, I got a job of my own. I moved out of Erin's. I got my own apartment. I've got a pretty decent place here. And beyond that, everything you've seen since Tiger King is pretty much where I'm at now.
So okay. So let me ask you this: they obviously they had to approach you with permission to interview you and to add you to the series. Now I've read that you haven't watched it. Is that still true?
Yeah, I've not watched it. I can't. It causes too much trauma.
Understandably so.
It's too much trauma. Like even like when I listen to Joe's voice, it upsets me. So I can't do it. I just can't.
Yeah, I remember you had told me that, so I had nixed the intro even showing him. The thing is that, okay, so a lot of people will think, oh man, you made it on a Netflix documentary. Oh, you must be super rich. You must be super famous. And I have to preface this with, I have friends that have been on Netflix series and documentaries, and no, they're not paid like they're some megastar celebrity. They're just there to be content added at cheap. I mean, you might get some residual for it. But nothing that's going to make you live comfortably the rest of your life off of royalties. I mean, if you do get anything, it'll supplement something, but nothing versus the trauma of actually having lived what was documented. I mean, so what I see in the comments sometimes, Josh, is people who are projecting that hate, projecting the negativity towards you, and you've called it. It's coming from one specific camp. It's coming from Joe Exotic's fan base. And in fact, I actually have a free Joe Exotic shirt that I got because I was like, oh, this guy is, let him off. Like, this is, give him clemency. Like you were even saying before, you support him not being in jail.
I still support clemency. Even though he has had every fundraiser I've had shut down, made it to where I'm in an emergency position where if I don't raise enough funds by, real soon, I'm going to have some serious consequences, and, medication wise and mental health wise. I have to get to a therapist in order to see my psychiatrist. It's now a requirement. My psychiatrist, I had Dan Berman help me out. And he made sure that I was able to see my psychiatrist.
Awesome.
And I had folks last night on Taxation and Stuff show, and we were able to raise enough money to get the medication.
I tuned into that one.
In order for me to be able to pick up the rest of it, I have to go to a therapy session as part of the conditions. I guess that's legal. I guess I have.
You can't just continue to go get meds without the doctor's approval.
Yeah. Well, I've seen the doctor, but the doctor is wanting me to see a therapist.
Mm.
And I need to see a therapist, frankly.
But there's not many people that are going to be therapists for free.
Exactly. And there are on the internet, and I appreciate anyone that's watching that are licensed therapists that have reached out and offered free therapy. But
okay.
I would like to find someone locally here in here where I live.
It's better therapy in person.
Plus, it's the internet, and how do I know you're really a licensed therapist? You're not just a Joe Exotic troll trying to find out my darkest secrets to continue to ruin my life.
Well, and that was the thing is, like I was saying, I bought this T-shirt thinking that this is a guy that's going to be a worthy cause, and then all of a sudden I started hearing the undertones from a man by the name of Joshuabdial who's saying, wait a minute, there's other information here that hasn't been shared on docuseries. There has, you actually defended him where they made misinformation on a more recent docuseries with the surviving Joe Exotic. I haven't seen that one, but I do know you have corrected false narrative there. So what I want to express to the comment section as I watch it, and I'm watching you have your breakdowns, go through your relationship struggles, and go through all these I would call consequences of having been on the Tiger King and by essentially a man by the name of Joe Maldonado who took advantage of you. And so, I mean, I can't imagine having been running as a gubernatorial candidate to use somebody's essentially slave labor and then to watch them go through mental breakdowns and to need this help and outcry for it publicly the way you have in a very open and honest way and go, oh, let's send everybody over to attack this guy. I mean, you're not the reason. Let me make this clear to everybody who might not have seen the Tiger King. Joshuabdial is not the reason why Joe Exotic is sitting in jail. Now, when did the troll starting action, and I hate to use the word troll, when did the, I don't know, cognitive dissonant, unintelligent, words from people that you don't know start coming onto your screen? Was it, I mean, I think you were kind of telling me.
Immediately, every day since, even this morning, I've had, I wrote this down. Today, I've had 7 death threats so far, and it is only, Not
even
9:13 a.m.
Not even 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And I had 12 yesterday. I had 10 the day before. And they're not all death threats. Most of them are, fuck you, fag, or, fuck you, pussy, or get a job, or, abusive shit.
Yes, things that are designed to tear you down.
And I don't respond to them, but I do open them. That way I can screenshot them because I'm screenshotting all of these people. All these people are making these comments.
Do you think that you saying that encourages them to do so?
Do what?
Do you think there's a part of that though when you saying I'm going to screenshot all these, that there's just some people out there that are like, I'm going to show him enter?
Yeah, I want them to go ahead, show their true selves, because I've got a large group of people that, they're trying to ruin my life, right? They're threatening my life. So I'm not doing, if they want to call me a fag, so what? I'm a fag and I'm proud of it.
Well, you are, just for the record, you are a gay man. You identify as a gay man. You've been in a relationship with your ex-fiance, or his fiance. I didn't catch that part. So I mean, you're open about this, and again, I don't care who you love as long as you love somebody and you're not hurting anybody, right. and so why people tend to go down that road, to me, Josh, is one of those weird. I want to tell you, I think it's projection. I honestly think that it's projection for them to send these death threats. They feel like they have to appease a group narrative that says you're a bad man, you're a horrible person, but these are also, what blows my mind is they're people too. If they were in their darkest hour, if they were in their despair, if they'd gone through what you've gone through, the tables would be turned. I think that you'd see a lot of these people realizing that what they did was wrong. So I commend you on your ability to look at these and go, these are not who defines what I am. You can death threat me, call me every name in the book, but that doesn't, I don't think the power it has is what I give it. And I've watched you, still continue to talk about what you've been through, reach out to others that have gone through, traumas and have PTSD. I have a different form of PTSD than you have, triggered by a different event, but nonetheless PTSD, so I can still relate in some instances where things trigger you, where things get you into a different mindset that you wouldn't otherwise be in, having not experienced a traumatic event. And right. So I can honestly say that there's a strength in what you have, Josh. There's a beauty of it that is going to inspire other people to continue to push forward in a day where they can say, okay, well, I haven't had any death threats. I know Josh has had at least a dozen by noon. He's still around. he's still fighting. He's still kicking ass, taking names. You know, you're inspiring that strength. So I certainly would hope that you realize that even on your darkest day, you're still providing light to somebody, because you're like I said, if you ask me of the top 5 libertarians in 2020, your name is in that category, and then I'll let other people debate where your position is. But you know,
and something real quick I want to point out: every radio like I do, like lots of radio shows where Florida, Ohio, New York, all over the West Coast. I had to go on these being the guest radio show host to like the Florida market. I did 3 shows, and their viewership was like 9 million, like listeners a morning for this show, and. Wow. And Jeff Fox did all these things that every podcast, no matter if it's a libertarian podcast or not, every interview I do, whether or not it's about politics or not, and every radio conversation or even the breaking news sequel to Tiger King that will be coming out, the interview I gave in there, I continue to advocate for liberty. So I am trying to use, to the best of my ability, what little what little strength I have, still, and help advance the liberty. Because what is it at the end of the day we all want? It's a life, set free in our lifetime. We want to be set free in our lifetime. We want the world to be set free in our lifetime, but we can start with us at least. Maybe we can get at least us start.
Yeah, if we can't be free, how are we going to bring freedom to anybody else, right?
Exactly. Amen, brother. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I felt like I'm not a Christian, but I'll pull a Kenneth Copeland.
Amen. Get an amen.
I had a word of prophecy. That guy's a total fraud. I'm not making fun of religious people or Pentecostal. My grandpa's a Pentecostal preacher, but Kenneth Copeland is a fraud. He's the richest preacher in America, and I don't believe in taxation. Taxation is theft, but if there is one motherfucker that should be taxed, it's Kenneth Copeland.
Yeah, I mean, if there was one, I mean, the Libertarian Party might go, maybe we just asterisk next to, no, I don't know. You'd have to debate that one. But okay, so so post Tiger King, you've been trying to reestablish. One person wanted me to ask you, have you thought about making a podcast called Fuck the Feds? I mean, to have a Joshuabdial Fuck the Feds podcast where you can use a platform to kind of like what I do here with mine.
What I'd like to do is start a YouTube channel.
Okay.
Because I'm also an amateur astronomer. Y'all are gonna laugh at this, but I am a semi-professional certified lightsaber dualist.
Okay, I'm not gonna take it from you. All right.
I have like replicas, and my 13-year-old son, I've been training him since he was 6 years old. So we have pretty epic demonstrations and fight. So I could put out a ton of content, but I need to find someone that wouldn't mind helping me, put it together for me.
I'm actually that's one of the things. I'm glad I got you on here live, because I am a producer. I am somebody that knows how to set all of this up in a way that would be able to help you bring your voice to everybody on every platform you want, every morning, every day, whichever way you want. And so I'm willing to put in some of my time after my normal Adam versus the Man hours to help get you set up so we can have a Fuck the Feds podcast hosted by Joshuabdial. And if you're willing to put in the work, I'm willing to put in the work. Absolutely. And I would love to be a guest on Fuck the Feds podcast hosted by Joshua.
You better believe it.
And so that was kind of my big. I'm hoping I can offer my services. I won't chop up food for animals, and you don't. I'm not going to charge you a wage or nothing. I just want to get you to the point where you're live for the first time on your own platform with your own podcast, with your own way to set this up, and all you got to do is push one button and you're live. Yep. Right, and I think that by you being able then to bring on your audience, your guests, and you can put out your links and your promotional stuff. You would do great with Patreon. I think you specifically, Josh, would be great for Patreon for a subscription base. I think that when you look at what you've been through, Josh, you get yourself a platform where it is your platform. And just as much as I can put Miss Nolan's comment up here, thank you for being open and sharing as much as you have, Josh. Great woman, Miss Lisa Nolan here from South Dakota. You'd be able to do the same thing. And if there are those comments, because if you notice, and you can see the comments on mine, I don't have very many friends myself out there in the social media world, but most of those trolling comments don't have any weight here, and they know that already. So you'll get to that point too, where the trolling comments will be used to your advantage.
Yeah.
And so, I think that that's what you need. You need to have a central Joshuabdial podcast that you can then take and put out there in a way that is undeniable. And like and I'm willing to help you out with it. It might take a week, it might take a month, but I'm willing to put in that work after my hours and help you get it set up and create the necessary steps to do it.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want any ownership in it. I just want to help you get to the point where I know you're going to be in a year from now set up to where you don't have to be in this mental state of breakdown asking for money every 5 minutes. You put out a show. People want to subscribe. People want to tip. They want to do that. That's a great way for you to not have to be asking the way you have. And I just want to encourage anybody that is watching. I do have some links in the description of this video that you can directly send help to Josh in this time of need here. And the one thing about libertarianism that I really love that you've said is that you didn't go to the government and immediately start asking for help. You went to the community, and I said, well, what can I add? If I can't I've donated what I can. I have a limit of each month I can donate to certain causes. And I do that where, I wish I had more to donate, or I'd just donate more. But, I donate to your cause because I believe you're a good human being. You deserve dignity and respect and kindness. And what I see in the comment section does not reflect who you are as a person. That reflects somebody else attacking you, being immature, being childish, taking somebody who is vulnerable, been through a traumatic event, been through a situation that you never should have really been in to begin with. And they put you in this, against your consent and will. And so here you are, being a pillar of strength for people. You deserve that platform of owning your platform, of being an inspiration to other people. So I know somebody that you've inspired here that wants to say hello to you is running for Nebraska State Senate. You know her as Mercedes. She helped you out last night, and she actually decided that she's going to come on and just say hello to you. It is what day is it today, Mercedes?
It's Mental Health Monday.
It is.
Is it really? I did not even know that.
Yeah. So a few years ago, I started my mental health journey. Let me get in the frame. There we go. I started my own mental health journey. I've been on it my entire life, though, because I've been forced to be.
We're a little squished there.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. So a few years ago, I had a mental breakdown. It landed me in it's called Richard Young. It's a mental health facility here. I self-admitted because, that's what you do when you want to not be here anymore.
I've had to do it 5 times.
Yep, this was the first time I ever actually gave in and did it, because I had mental health treatment throughout my life, intermittently, just enough to keep me not from dying. And so a few years ago, we started Mental Health Monday. My girlfriend, she's been sober for, I think, about 4 years now, 5 years now. We both started this kind of journey together. We have different addictions, but we're trying to support group each other. It's a hard world to live in when sucks. So we have Mental Health Mondays now because it's catchy and it actually is caught on. I saw it was trending not long ago on the social medias. Yeah, it was not me. I did not do it.
Wow.
It's not me. So yeah, it's important to me to help people when they need help because I had that help, and if I didn't have that help, I wouldn't be here talking to
Yeah.
you right now.
Yeah. And I
Which is
appreciate that. And I didn't realize, and maybe it was such, I know you were on the show last night, so it's kind of chaotic trying to get everything in time before the pharmacy closed. But like, especially after hearing what you just had to say about mental health and everything, and I can like reach out to me afterwards. I want to help you in your campaign any way I can.
Thank
And
you.
whether that's, if you'd
well,
like enforcement, like I believe, like we need more people in office that support mental health. Um,
Mhm.
and we
well,
need libertarian voices that support mental health because that's what we're lacking. We're lacking good libertarians who are able to talk openly about mental health. Whereas the Democrats want to say, well, let's spend $1 billion to give everyone mental health treatment, $1 billion a month, $6 trillion a year, whatever the cost really is. And the Republicans say, fuck it, fuck everyone, y'all just all die, fuck off and die. And libertarians, we have a real serious answer to this. And that's what I'm doing right now, which is reaching out to the private sector, reaching out to friends, reaching out to fans, and asking for help. I could see my counselor today. I got, $200 away, and I'll be good for the rest of the month as far as getting my mental health back on track. So, I'm feeling a lot more. You can probably tell I'm feeling a lot more optimistic than I was yesterday. Being so close, like being able. First of all, I was on my meds, so I'm sure you can tell the difference from that. Also,
yeah.
So, anyways, but I'm rambling.
No, you're good,
You
Josh.
really spoke to my heart,
Because you're
Mercedes, and I
happier
want to help
today.
you in your campaign if you'd like.
Thank you. Mental health is one of my main pillars of what I'm actually running on here because I live in rural Nebraska. Tiger King came through here when we were the youths. I have not seen that documentary yet, though, because it's a trigger for me.
Right.
Like,
I
we
haven't
just,
watched it either for the same reason.
yep, I can't watch it. It's a trigger. I lived something similar to it. If people want
Yeah.
to enjoy it, that's cool, but now I get to see you, who was on that, struggle to even deal with the trauma that you endured because of that. And I had
Right.
good talk about that today with my own therapist because she needs to be paid way more money than what she charges because she does a lot of pro bono and helps community because she is at Insight Counseling and Recovery. She helps people who are addicts that other therapists in the area don't want to touch because they are a risk and won't pay their bills. So
They still need help, and that's the point. And then so you found a therapist that is like that. Hopefully there's more in there. One of the things I wanted to say, Mercedes and Josh, I've gone through my own traumas in life, but I've always viewed things as an opportunity to become the better version of me that I want. I went from, being a very angry person on the internet to being who I am today and having strength. There's nothing the internet can say or do to me that is going to cause me to be that way. But I can tell you, watching people go through it makes me want to stand up and fight for it even more. And so, like I said, I Mercedes, you've always been welcome on my broadcast. Josh, you are always welcome on it as well. And I do like Mercedes, you're starting your own broadcast as well, right?
I am. So
Right.
I
So
have it all set up now, and I'm looking for people to talk to on my own now since
As soon as if you'd like me to be a guest, I'd be more than happy.
we
and
are
Josh,
Facebook friends.
And Josh, this is what I'm trying to get at is that you need to know that not only will the community help you out in your time of need, we want to lift you up. We want to make it so that you stand on your own ground, that you're a platform that we're like, we want to go on
Yes.
Fuck the Feds with Joshuabdial. We want to go,
Yes.
we want to go and we want to lift you up in a way that says, because you had said it in one of your videos, you were more upset. I don't know what state of mind you were in. It was during a tougher time on one of your videos, and people are being stupid in the comments, and you had said, I'm reaching out to the libertarians, I'm reaching out to the community, and to me it was like, okay, yeah, there's financial support, but there's also emotional support. There's that support that says, hey, I might not have enough to give you $1 today, but I can give you that conversation that
Right.
says, hey, but it's not to say that you wouldn't start something where I'm like, oh yeah, I could give Josh 10, 15 bucks a month for the next year, and do a Patreon subscription and set something up where you can build that income up and we can see it. And then what you're doing is you're finding people like me who are like, I'll support you. I'll pick a Patreon tier level and I'll fit where I can in my income, and I can plan ahead on that. And you can build an income and a residual from that. So like I said, we want to build you up, and I want to see Joshuabdial a year from now in my position where you're beating these demons, where you're disregarding the bullshit comments. Sure, utilize it for what it is, Josh. It's your ladder to your success. It's your climb past these trolls. You're the only person that can beat them is you. I'm just saying that when I witness to it in the comments, and I'm sitting here going, man, that guy's an idiot. That guy is just, and you click some of their profiles, Josh, and they're just not worth the time to even respond to. So what I'm saying, man, is I've got nothing but respect for you. I think that you're somebody that is going to be undeniably a force in the Libertarian Party. You're going to have people that are like, hey, I want that guy as my campaign manager. I want this guy at my event. I already know that in the Libertarian Party of South Dakota, we want you to come to one of our events in the future, and we'll work out how to do that. We know, we got to take care of you in order to get you here and back safely, but, and make sure you're fed, obviously. And we want to make sure that you're involved in our community. I know that you were a delegate, right? Was I correct? You were a delegate for Oklahoma?
Yeah. In 2018, I was also a delegate in 2020. However, I was in the hospital for the Oklahoma convention.
No.
And, since I was in the hospital, I was not able to work and make enough money to go to Orlando. I tried to raise money, and no one. I just could.
I thought for sure I was gonna get to meet you there, man. Give you a hug and tell you, I'm glad to meet you there. But
I wanted to be there so bad, and it still hurts like really deeply that
Mercedes wasn't there
so bad.
No, I didn't get to go either.
I didn't get to go.
I was grounded. I actually asked my husband if I could make you go, and he's like, no, you need to be good. You can't just give money away to people when they say they need it. And I'm like, Matthew, though, but we could go to Orlando together. He's like, no.
Yeah, we could carpool, we could do something. But hey, can I get you guys to both say that right now publicly, Reno 2022?
Oh yeah, I'm going.
Where do you stand?
Oh, I'll be there, period.
I mean, if you got to crawl to Reno, Josh, I'm going to start telling you to get there right now. Like, start crawling.
Dude, let's start fundraising right now. We have 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I plan on doing.
And that's what I'm saying.
Especially when this sequel, I got to be careful what I say, but when the sequel comes out, it's going to blow up even more because I'm not allowed to say anything about it, but it's going to be even more shocking than the first one.
As long as you're planning ahead for that.
Yeah, I mean, I am trying, and like you said, that has been my goal. Like, my immediate goal is right now. Well, my immediate goal is to raise $200 today so I can go, see my counselor. That's always like my immediate goal. My a goal in the next week or so is to get my son enrolled in school, which I actually have to do in.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm watching the clock. We got.
Okay. Because I'm not. Okay. So I got that as my second because of course the kids. But my next priority was to get a YouTube channel started, and so I'm glad CJ offered to help me because I've been wanting to do it. I just need someone that is I may be a smart guy, but there's some stuff I'm just dumb as a box of rocks.
I got a bachelor's degree in software engineering, information technology, and I'm offering you my services for free.
I appreciate that, and that's I don't want to keep having to ask for handouts.
It's not a handout, brother. It's a lift up, man.
Yeah, I know, but like asking folks for cash and asking folks to donate, that's not me. Since the day I turned 16. I went to McDonald's and got a job and had a job every day, every time since.
All right, raise your hand if you worked at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Dang.
6
No
years,
shame.
4 of
No
them as
shame.
manager.
No shame
Oh.
here.
Nope.
Yeah.
Part of your mental health journey though is realizing that, because this is something I struggle with, because I'm the same way, Josh. I don't need no help. I don't need no government help. I don't need help from my friends. I can do this. I'm not going to be a burden on the world. I'm going to do it myself. I'm not going to contribute. But because of how this system is set up, and because of where we come from, we're already at a disadvantage because of the government. So at this time, the most libertarian thing you can do is to reach out for help, because part of being a libertarian is volunteerism and helping people when they need it. I've told several libertarians over the last few weeks, nut up or shut up. Put your money where your mouth is. You say you're a libertarian, but you're not doing anything to help us, and we need your help.
Yeah.
We need you to do what you say you are. Don't just say you're. Donate to Josh.
It's that simple. You know, like I said, Josh, I'm gonna guarantee you we're gonna get you set up with a Patreon. I'm gonna be one of your first patrons. I'm gonna set it up where I can give you a monthly donation that I know is gonna go to you building up, and I think that would help. We can put, when that comes out, when that gets put forward, you know, you focus on a point where, yeah, you got to ask for some help today. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure by the end of the day, I can help raise a little bit of funds here too to get there. And I'll work on fundraising for you today the best I can. And, you know, I just want you to know, man, that, you know, there, regardless of what happens and what the internet says, you need to remember who you are first and foremost. You are a good man. You're a loving person. You are fallible like all of us. I'm not going to sit here and preach that I'm perfect while my fiance sits here and goes, well, you can be an asshole sometimes. Well, yeah, of course I can be an asshole sometimes, but I'm still a loving man. I still care for people. I still have hopes, wants, dreams, and desires, and I expect you to too. So when I see somebody, especially you, Josh, you went to the mountaintop. You went to the peak of libertarianism. You stood at the top and said, I am the libertarian. And to watch the push down, the negativity, but to know you're still here and alive, to know that you still have a bright future, and you just need some help to get you focused into the right direction. Like I said, I'm honored and humbled that I can help you get to that point. And I'm going to make sure you got a YouTube channel, Patreon, Twitter, Facebook page. You can combine all of your cash applications into one. Shoot, maybe we can get enough to even get you a website, and you can get booked through that. And you can, I mean, again, you've got all the potential in the world. Don't let people on the internet drag you down. You have way too much potential. Like I said, you have somebody that you're somebody that I would have wished for in 2018. If I could have had Joshuabdial as my campaign manager, I would have got the nomination in 2018. Mm-hmm. I would have been on the debate stage with Kristi Noem and Billy Sutton if I would have had a campaign manager like you. So real quick, there's a comment here. Matt would like to know if you have PayPal or Cash App. There's a Cash App on the screen here. I do believe I saw as it's scrolling by.
Yeah, I do have Cash App. It's
Joshua B. Dial. Money sign Joshua B. Dial. Yeah. Matt's a great guy, hard worker, tunes into the broadcast. I absolutely love and support him too. And you know
that, Matt.
And you know, the thing is you know, you won't be asking for money perpetually forever. I know that's a tough spot to be in.
I mean, I've got a job lined up for next month, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, like, the thing is, you know, by the time I get trained and by the time, you know, I work at a Sprint store or wherever I work, you know, where I'm working, I'm not going to say where I work. But basically, anyone that's worked a job knows it can take anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks to get your first paycheck. Correct. So, you know, next month I'm going to be fine, and I'll be fine going forward because, you know, I'll have a job and I'll have insurance, and it's not going to cost me $200.
Real quick, you're going to be
$300 for meds. You know, it'll be cheap, and I can do this on my own. So I just need a leg up right now, so I can be well enough to not get fired on my first day for having a nervous breakdown because I don't have all my meds or therapy.
And you know that Go ahead, Mercedes.
The
Plus,
best
I have a
part-
kid, and I got to make
need-
sure that
Yeah.
I'm taking care of myself so I can take care of my son. You know.
Amen.
I forgot what I was going to say, which is fine because you said it for me anyway.
Yeah.
We need to help you now because we are a team and we are stronger together and we need to take care of everyone so that we all finish together.
Yes. I'm not a
Thank you.
Christian, but I will say amen, sister.
It's the sentiment behind it. You know, the thing is like I've been trying to get to is that you're not alone, and no matter what you're thinking you are. I mean, I've been in a depression before. I'm not going to say I haven't been in that feeling before. But what inspires me the most is to see somebody go to the top. I wouldn't say you're at the rock bottom right now. I'd say you've hit rock bottom and you've crawled up from there. So let's just make sure you don't fall back down.
Exactly.
I have one question though. This new job, are you going to be working days, nights? I mean, you don't have to tell us what it or where it is or anything. You don't need to say, but I mean, is it like a day job, night job?
It's a work from home job.
Oh, even better. Oh,
yeah, because I still can't go out in public. I mean, especially without my meds, because the PTSD, the bipolar, all 3 anxiety disorders I have, all that together. Like I can't go out in public, or I just go out in public. I had a friend that was very generous, who's taking care of a computer for me. That fit the requirements. And of all people, it was a Democrat, believe it or not.
Well, you know what?
Chicago. And I did go to Chicago. They paid me an all expense trip. They said, "Hey, we want you to come up here." And you know what? I talked to them. I never compromised my principles once. I spoke liberty, and I spoke, what can we do to bring liberty right now? I understand that I want, to end the drug war completely, but I understand you want to end the marijuana war. Can we work together? Can libertarians and Democrats can we work together to at least get some liberty? The goal is a world set free in our lifetime, but can we start with us at least? And yes, unfortunately, it does require working across the aisle, but that never means you have to compromise your principles. You just have to state your argument eloquently and don't get pissy with people. Don't act like you're better than them. Listen to their concerns. That's why I resonate with people so much on the campaign trail, because I listen to their concerns and I take that and you have to alter your message based on your demographic.
You sound like Larry Sharp, kind of, sort of, with your mentality there. You sound like
I love Larry.
Yeah, no, and I would actually suggest you reach out to Larry as well. Go on
I've actually only spoken to Larry Sharp once. That was in New Orleans convention. I was sitting down at the hotel convention floor at a bench, and he just happened to be sitting down next to me. And at the time, Tiger King wasn't out, so he didn't know who I was, but I knew who he was, and I knew he would eventually.
Larry's fame preceded Tiger King fame for a moment.
But I was totally like fangirl, and so I was like stuttering and hardly.
I fangirl with Mr. Sharp as well. Josh, one of the things I think would be great, we get you set up with your own broadcast. We get you set up with your own way to talk to the public that's in your environment, and then we ask a Larry Sharp, we ask a Adam Kokesh to bring you on to promote it and talk about mental health, talk about these issues, and again, be a community, and prove we're a community that helps support each other. And so, like I said, Josh, I see so much potential. I can't wait to meet you in person, because I know you're just a great person overall. I mean, what happened to you was a travesty. It's almost like saying, here's a pure soul, let's put them through hell. And then you're watching people watch you go through hell, and then watching the worst in humanity on the internet. And you just go, man, and then somehow these people claim they're the morally superior. They're the good people of the world. And I have to fundamentally tell you, don't acknowledge, take the screenshots, do what you're going to do to the messages, because death threats are never okay. You should always protect yourself in that aspect. But when you're on your live feed, man, blow them off. Know that there's people like Mercedes and myself watching that want the best for you. That there are people that don't want to hear all the focus be on these people that are just troglodyte internet morons that are sitting there shilling for a man that they never are really going to know or meet or be a part of the life. They're fangirling is what they're doing. They're being that Joe Exotic foot soldier that is expendable. If he'll treat you, his campaign manager, the way that he's treated you, what do you think he's going to do to some random person he doesn't know on the internet? You're what they call a useful idiot if you're just trolling for Joe Exotic at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and to be perfectly honest, man, I haven't worn that free Joe Exotic shirt since I heard that they were attacking you. I was like, whoa. If I wear a free Joe Exotic shirt, I think Josh is going to think I'm one of those Joe Exotic people, and I'm not going to be able to talk to you because, I mean, I know that's being associated with an attack towards you, and I can't express it enough how it just makes me loathe it. It's like it's expected internet behavior, but I've watched you go up to the top, down to the bottom, and watched how nasty it can get, and somehow you're still pulling through it. And I go, man, when this guy gets through his shit and he is shining brighter than the sun, watch out, because you're going to be in that top 5 libertarians in 2022. You're going to be in the top 5 in 2024. You're going to be, I'll bet we're looking at a presidential campaign manager here for a legitimate campaign in the future. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have the potential. So let's not lose focus on that, Josh. I mean,
I appreciate that.
Like I said, it's Mental Health Builds You Up Monday, and I could not come on here without saying these things.
And you got to remember, too, something that I've learned, because I'm very people-pleasy, and my boundaries I have to reinforce actively because I'm a people-pleaser, and I want to be good and have everybody be happy. So part of what I've learned in my newfound celebritydom of being a candidate, which is not a thing, should not be a thing.
It's overrated.
Politicians are not celebrities. We
Nope.
are normal people like everybody else. Okay?
The coffee goes in one hole and it does things to my body and it goes out the other. So,
yes,
I mean, I'm just as much a human as you.
And I've learned that when people get jealous, they get nasty. The internet is a very toxic place because people aren't held accountable for what they say. They have true freedom of speech, and that brings out a lot of bad things because we're not humans. I gotta be, like you said, I have to be careful. Humans are trash.
Yeah.
Careful. And the internet, but the internet is.
There are people watching. I mean, it is on the internet.
And that's why I said humans. But if anybody watching this goes into the comment sections and they see the things that people say and don't understand the power that their words have. And
Amen.
You are an amazing human who went through literal hell because you were doing what you felt was the right thing and other people used that against you. You're a survivor.
Amen.
Sir. And if I tell there in my own race and why I don't actually, I kind of care what I say and what I don't, because there are a lot of people who are very afraid of me running for the office I am because I was their victim. And I am a survivor who has made it here because of the help of other people.
Right.
Like, you will never be hungry again.
Real quick, I just wanted to say thank you to Matt. He just sent me something. So now at this point, I'm only $150 away from getting counseling done today.
Well, you can put me down for matching Matt today. I'll get you that after this. So, I mean, and what really it blows my mind, man, that when you say you reach out to the community, and again, I preface this with we are a very small community. But we should be able to respond in a way that lifts you up. So when Josh, when it comes down to it, man, I want you to know that there are people out there that are going to hear you for the first time. They don't know you from Joe Blow. So I guess my parting advice from you is remember that you are valued by people, that you have an intelligent conversation and intellect to add towards the Libertarian Party. You are not somebody that we want to see be taken out by trolls. We are happy that you're alive today after going through your shit to be here with us today. And you know, Josh, if there's anything I can do that's within my physical power, I'm going to do it. So like I said, we'll get you set up to where you're on autopilot. You can see it on like the way to my screen, click live, going live on 5 platforms and talk that talk, bring on guests. Josh, let me ask you this. How many people have you met since being on the Tiger King? Just be real with me. How many people have, I mean, I know you got the haters. Let's put them in a separate category. How many good people have you met?
Thousands.
Now let's take those thousands of people and let's give you that center focus to bring those thousands of people to a platform.
Tens of thousands, but it's like maybe 1,000 people are trying to ruin my life in the best way they possibly can think they can.
And there's going to be a million that love you, Josh. So
like that 1,000 is the reason, like, why, you know, I can't go to counseling because, you know, they shut my fundraisers down. And, frankly, I'll never fundraise again on Facebook or GoFundMe or anything.
Oh, no.
And that's why I want to get the YouTube thing started up. That way I can just do it on my own.
You're going to earn it, Josh. That's what I'm saying. You're going to earn what you raise. You're going to bring, You're going to bring content. Exactly. You're going to bring in an audience. You're going to have a platform. You're going to have a broadcast dedicated to you and your thoughts, and you own it, and you can discuss the things you want to say. Bring on the guests and the people that have inspired you. And just like I've done now, I bring you on here because you've inspired me. You're going to give somebody else that same thing someday, and that's called paying it forward. And I firmly believe in paying it forward in that effect, to where you never know how it's going to benefit somebody in the future. So before we get out of here, we got 2 minutes, Josh. I'm just going to give you the full screen to let everybody know where they can go to help you and whatever you got to say in closer.
Okay. So thank you, first of all, to everyone that has already donated, and to anyone else that is able to. I think I said we're like 150 away. If we can make that goal, I would really appreciate it. I have Cash App. Everything's posted in the comments. If you would like a personal message, I do Cameo. It's $50 for a video. And I take care to make my videos really special. You type in what you want me to say, and I'll literally say anything. If you're about to quit your job and you want me to tell your boss to fuck off along with the feds, I will say it. I'm also the cheapest guy on Cameo from Tiger King. Carol Baskin charges $200 a Cameo. I prefer to do these because I like doing them. It makes me feel good when I know people, care enough that it reminds me that people support me, So I have Cameo, and like I said, I only make $30 after they get their cut off of it, but every little bit helps. So, book me on Cameo if you want a happy birthday message. If you have a question about behind the scenes, I can give you behind the scenes info. Just whatever, literally anything you want to ask me or anything you'd like me to say to your friends or family. Happy anniversary, happy birthday, good luck on your campaign, anything, I'm down to do it. And I'm sorry I'm moving around. We're cutting it short to get my kid enrolled in school, so I'm like I'm walking around trying to
Before you go do that, Josh, I'm going to ask you for a personal favor.
Yeah.
Can I get an endorsement from Joshuabdial for District 23 Senate here in South Dakota?
Absolutely.
I also would want one. I want one of those
Yes.
coveted endorsements too.
Yes. So,
coveted endorsement of Joshua Fuck the Feds Dial is a real thing.
Wait to go tell my friends.
Yeah, absolutely. So y'all send me a message. Yeah, y'all definitely send me a message on like Facebook Messenger. Be the best probably. And each of you, well, CJ, I got you, but I don't think I got you, Mercedes. So Mercedes, send me a message on Facebook Messenger, and we'll strategize. See if maybe I can do a short little clip. Make it fun. I mean, really.
Whatever your little heart desires, you can do whatever you want, Joshua.
Yeah, whatever works for
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, Joshua, fuck the feds dial.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
guys.
for coming on my humble little broadcast. Go be a parent, get your kid enrolled in school, and we'll see you again next time. I'll reach out to you about the setting you up on your own platform thing a little later. All right.
Okay.
Mental Health Monday,
Once
Josh.
again, we're just 100 or 150 away from our goal. So if you can help, please help, and this will be it. And I'll be good for the rest of the month, and I'll be able to go forward, get this job, take care of my kid, and continue to spread liberty to a broad audience of people.
Amen, brother. I'm sending you
Yeah.
50 right now. Like I said, I'm gonna match. I'm gonna match Matt there,
And
and
I
so
sent,
And
I
thank
sent
you, Matt,
50
so
last
much.
night so we could get
Yes,
you some
thank you,
meds.
Mercedes. Yes,
Yep, we
thank you so
need
much.
to get you
and it
healthy and
says
happy.
and it says payment successful. So there you go, sir.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes, I just got it. Okay, so $100. So if anyone out there, I don't want to sound like a preacher, but if you feel in your heart, if it moves you in your heart, I mean, it's just $100.
Amen,
I
brother.
do have some Joe Exotic memorabilia. I might be able to send you a bumper sticker if you'd be willing to, send me $100. I'll mail you a bumper sticker.
Oh my gosh. I just had a brain nugget idea.
I actually have one of the last packs of Joe Exotic rolling papers.
No. You said last night those are sentimental. You're not. No. Put a higher.
Yeah, but I'm desperate.
No,
Okay, but
no.
this is what you do. You sell them individually. You do not get rid of the whole stash because they are limited, ultra limited edition.
Yeah, and
Do not sell yourself short, Josh. You are worth so much more.
Then I'm gonna have a cop with their knee on my neck for selling individual pieces.
No
Papers.
He went there. All
Not
right,
if you don't
Josh.
leave your house.
Josh, we could talk for hours, brother. We're gonna keep you from getting to the school. So you have a great day, sir. We'll talk to you again soon, sir.
All right, take it easy.
All right, Josh Dial, everybody. Mercedes, thanks for coming on Mental Health
Thanks for
Monday. I
having me.
knew that you would love to have been a part of this conversation. So, like I said, I couldn't think of a better person to come on to talk with Josh, and just a great guy. Josh is a great guy.
He's so
that
sweet and nice and wonderful.
yeah.
I'm
So
upset on his behalf.
we're gonna get on Fuck the Feds podcast hosted by Joshua Dial, and
Can you get Adam on there too?
Well, you know what? Let's one step at a time. One step at a time. I mean, but I'd like to see Josh Dial go on with Larry. I'd like to see him go on with Adam. And I mean, being a campaign manager, he adds a lot to the party. And so again, if you can help out Josh, just one more time, Joshua, fuck the feds Dial. Please donate on his Cash App, Joshua B Dial, Vemo at Joshua/Dial/ or Joshua-Dial-5. And what is Zelle? I don't really know.
I don't know what that is either, but I guess it works.
But if you know what that application is, and again, if you can help out, we got him halfway there for today. Hopefully, you guys can help him out the rest of the way. And I knew that when he said I had originally donated the $50 to his Facebook, and I saw that it got shut down. So I figured, well, they'll send that back. I'll send another 50. Either way, it's right to help him out, and he's right. He's not reaching out to government; he's reaching out to the community. We should be able to help him out like that. So, and speaking of being a parent, I got to get this little one a bowl of cereal. Mercedes, you got anything you want to add before you?
Yeah, actually, Josh is reaching out for help, just like a libertarian should do in his time of need, because the system is negatively affecting him. He should be famous. He should be making all this money off this documentary everybody knows about, and he's not. So it's our job as libertarians to help our brother when he's in need. And with that, I'm going to say go donate to him. Don't donate to me. Go donate to him. He needs it more than I do.
Today is about Joshua Dial.
Yes.
But I will encourage you to go to votemercedes.com.
Go check out my website. How much longer do we have?
Well, of course, that's where I was already going. 84 days, 14 hours, 55 minutes, and 4 seconds. I mean, until we figure out if we can bring freedom in our lifetime. And I'll tell you what, Mercedes, I'm glad you came on today. Again, thank you to Joshua. Fuck the Feds Dial, Mercedes. You are always awesome and welcome. So I will talk to you again soon.
See you later.
All right, later, Mercedes. All right, guys. See, I knew I was optimistic today for a reason. I mean, we'll put it to you this way. Even on my worst days, if I could have told you, hey, you're going to have a phenomenal – okay, put it to you this way. If you would have told me a year ago you're going to be running for state senate, you get to talk to awesome people like Joshua Fuck the Feds Dial and Mercedes out there in Nebraska, District 37. Am I right? Am I getting it right this time? 37. Yeah, I'm getting it right this time. 37. This is what lifting people up does. This is what supporting people does, and it helps people get through the day. I mean, you can see in my comments, no trolls. You can see it was people that were there with intelligent things to say. And so the negativity that Josh might be experiencing, the negativity that's out there is temporary. And he needs to know that. So again, thanks for everybody for tuning in. My name is CJ Abernathy, the Internet Warlord, coming to you live and loud from the great state of Meth Dakota. You know Meth Dakota, it's the state just south of North Dakota and the state above Nebraska, because at least we're better than Nebraska. Have a good day or don't. The choice is always yours.
Welcome to Coffee and a Conversation, hosted by CJ Abernathy for South Dakota District 23 Senate 2020. A father, a Marine Corps combat veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan, Purple Heart recipient, with a bachelor's degree in information technology software engineering. CJ is a podcast producer and host. Please check out our social media pages for more information. If you would like to join this broadcast, click the link in the description to join. Coffee and a Conversation starts now. Have a good day or don't. The choice is always yours.